be back?
Oh, very good. Was really eager to be back here and started working. The break because of everything, the World Cup has been a little longer than usual, so we are really excited to start. And yeah, finally we were on the field, so very happy.
It's a bit of a different group that you have this season.
Yep.
There's obviously some notable guys who've left this club. What is it like for you to be integrating new faces and working with this version of this team?
Yeah, it's true. We made a lot of changes, I would say. I think it's like 7, 8 guys that were with us last year that they're not this season with us. That went in two directions. We didn't want a very big roster, like 30 players. We want to have like 23, 24 players and be very focused with them. So that was one of the reasons, and so for this reason also we're integrating the new guys. I would say in a way that we're going to look for the specific play in the specific position. We got Matthias now arrived. We got Carifa that we signed with the re-entry draft. So it's easy not to have also 15 new faces in. Like, okay, we left some, and it's we can focus to some specific individuals to let's say make him at ease as soon as we can.
More moves to come?
Yeah, I think so. I think that I don't think that we're gonna sign another 5 or 6 players, but maybe 1 or 2, yes.
You've got a long training camp with lots of competition coming up. What does that do for your group heading into the regular season?
I think that we had an honest conversation at the end. I told you guys a lot of times. I think our Achilles heel last year was the start of the season. So, and the start of the season include the preseason. The preseason is very important for the start of the season. So today in the first meeting, I told the guys that we need to go 100% from the first day, because not only MLS, after 2 weeks in the season, we have the first game of Champions League. So big games will arrive immediately, and we need to be ready to go. And so I'm happy that we're going to have good competition in Spain and good competition after Spain in Palm Springs. So we'll be ready for that.
We talked about that smaller roster before. Fighting now, though, in 4 competitions, can you afford to have that smaller roster?
Yeah, because we have the second team. So we have 5 guys from the WFC2 that are going to come with us in camp in Spain. We want to give them opportunity when they deserve to have opportunity in the first team. I'm very happy that we have Simon and Ali that signed from the second team to the first team this season, and hopefully someone more will join us at the end of this season or maybe during this season. So that's I think the entire idea of having a good second team that can support when we're going to have some problem in terms of injuries or something.
The last couple of seasons with the Champions League, the teams that have been in it in MLS have kind of got off to pretty poor starts. How can you make sure that doesn't happen?
It's going to be, I don't know, yeah. We need to be ready to, I would say, being as consistent as we can. And that's the reason why I also want this roster of 20, 22 players, not 30 players, because I want 22 players that can be starters. And so if we, let's say, consume 11 players in the first 3 months, and then we're going to bounce down like Seattle did last year, for example. They had fantastic Champions League, and then they had a very bad moment, and they didn't make the playoff, probably because the effort was too much, and they didn't have too many players to play. Even if they have a roster of 30 players, they always use the same 14, 15 players. So we'll not use the same 13, 14 players every time. We'll try to use 18, 19, 20 players, and that also, I hope, will help to be consistent during the season, because we'll have everyone engaged and I would say willing to fight for a spot. So we won't have players that are like so behind than the other players. Hopefully, yeah. I'm describing the perfect scenario.
Matthias Laborda looks very mobile.
Yeah.
Out there. Is that what you're looking for in a new centre back?
Yeah. Well, yes. I don't think that in the modern soccer you can afford to not to be at least adequately fast and mobile. And yeah, he's a good player. He's a guy that can play very well defensively. He's good. He's going to help also in the build up, and he's bringing also winning habits. I would say he won the league last year in Uruguay. So of course we need to help him adapt to the new situation here with the league, because we know that the league is a good test for everyone who comes from outside. But I think he's going to help us. Yeah.
How is he personality-wise? Is he quiet? Is he shy? Is he doing jokes behind the scenes?
It's not that. It doesn't look like the biggest joker ever, but it's not that shy. Is compared to me, it's hard to be the biggest joker ever. So, and it's not shy. He's also, I think his English is quite good. So it's not very good, but he can communicate. So it's a good start for sure.
You said on Friday you weren't sure what primary formation the team was going to use this year.
Yeah.
What's going to help you decide that? How are you going to go through that process to determine that?
The defenders play the defenders. So the idea is to try to be a little more offensive than last year. I think that when things started to go well and we did a good second part of the season, I think defensively we were solid, and it was hard to break us down, but we didn't have too many solutions offensively. So the idea is to involve more players in the offensive half, like in the set offense, and we need to understand if we are able to do it with only 2 center backs or with 3 center backs. So that's the main question, I would say.
Vanni, it's been a few years since you guys went overseas. Why did you guys choose Spain? Is it because of the international competition you guys are going to have?
Yeah, mainly that reason. We didn't want to do 2 trips in North America, because if not, you play always the same team, and you're gonna play those teams in the league. And we wanted to have like something new, like a shock. The second thing is that we want to play European teams in the sense of we know that the Hamburg, for example, that we play, they're in the middle of the season. They had the break because of the mid-season, but they're going to play league games a week after, so they're going to be very ready to play. And that also is like an incentive for the player to arrive ready here and to be even more 100% from day one. And also the place where we go in Marbella is really beautiful, weather-wise and football-wise. So, yeah, that's the thing.
What's your goalkeeping situation in your mind?
At the moment, we have 3 guys, Thomas, Isaac, and Max. The situation is open in the sense that at the moment Thomas is the number 1 for sure, and the situation is open in the sense that whatever the market is gonna bring to us, then we will decide. I'm not in a way that we must sign a goalkeeper, but it depends if the occasion comes up. Why not?
Last thing is for me, you got a couple of guys, Shop and Gressel. What's the advantage to you of having them here for a full season going through training camp?
It's a huge advantage. It's an enormous advantage. I think that those 2 players, but in a way I would say even Andres Cubas, that he arrived last year, he had an impact, but we had to manage him a lot because he had a problem coming mid-season from Europe. And I think those 3 players, they should be considered like new signings, in the sense that I I would say I'm confident that they will be more impactful than they were last year.
How hard is it for a player to integrate into a new system partway through a season?
It's harder for sure because like the preseason helps because we can go a lot and work a lot on tactics. We can do video, we can do training versus zero, we can do double training in the same day. So it's going to be much easier for everyone to get on board on what we want to do.
Do you think Thomas can take on the role as a number one for the full season with all the competitions that you have? Or would you like to see a veteran goalkeeper come in to push him and help bring that competition level in?
It's not about veteran, it's about quality, let's say. So as any other position, we are looking. So of course, we always look inside first and outside. And so in order, if someone will arrive, it will be a high quality goalkeeper.
Would you like to see someone arrive?
Again, when and if he will arrive, I will be happy to coach him. So.
Do you have an update on Christian Gutierrez's health?
Yeah, he's not ready to be on the field. He's he had a surgery, the abdominal surgery during the break. He can do something, so he will come to Spain with us, but he won't be ready to be 100% with us on the field, I think, until Palm Springs.
We're going to talk about this on our show, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. Obviously, Italian soccer lost a legend in Gianluca Vialli this
Yeah.
year. What's your memories of him as a player from watching?
Well, I actually have a lot of memories, two memories. Like as a player, he was a fantastic player, striker, like very acrobatic. He was also a very funny person, outgoing. Like one of those players that when I was a kid was one of the first players that was kind of even very at ease in front of the camera, and he could be. So I have a lot of memories. But actually, one thing that I remember very well is like he was doing the pro license, the coaching course in Italy, and I just started. I was still playing, and I just started working for the federation. I was doing like research for the department. It's called Study Center for the federation, the Italian federation, and we actually worked a little bit together on his final thesis. I helped him doing some graphics, and it was it's a cherished memory because I was no one, and he was a player that played a lot of years in the national team, and he was coaching Chelsea at the time, maybe or Watford, I think, and he had time for me to speak soccer and speak everything and talk soccer for hours. So yeah, it's really, even if it's something that happened almost 20 years ago, it's a cherished memory that I have.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vanni.
Thank you.
Yeah, how